The Science of DEI explores three big ideas. As you can tell, I'm very excited about them, but I want to share those with you and invite you to come with me on this journey of learning and unlearning and growing and having a positive impact on the world around us. First, my name is Demetria. I am the DEI scientist, and I am just super excited to share these things that I've been working on probably for the past 10 years or so, and it's finally coming together in a way that just makes my heart so happy. Think of the work that I do as the intersection of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Bill Nye the Science Guy. And when I think of the Science of DEI, it really explores three things, and I want to share them with you. Big idea number one is that DEI is like chemistry. So for those of you who are new here, 10 years ago, I created the Table of Diversity, which is inspired by the periodic table of elements from your chemistry class. But instead of those chemical elements that you might find on the periodic table of elements, it's actually elements of identity and diversity on the Table of Diversity. Now, that is not the only analogy to chemistry. There are so many parallels between DEI and chemistry and vice versa. And if we took what we've learned all of these years, and I get it, for a lot of us, it's in the recesses of our mind. But if we bring those ideas back to the surface, things that we learned in chemistry class, and apply that same logic and processing to how we do diversity, equity, and inclusion, we will be able to be more productive, more effective, more efficient, and bring more people along with us in this work. That is the goal of number one, the big idea. Big idea number two is that DEI is a science. The work that we do, the work that I do as a DEI trainer and consultant, when I go into organizations, when I go into schools, when I go into communities that are wanting to do this work better, there isn't a goal. There's an action plan. There's observation that's happening. There's data, both quantitative and qualitative. There's a process that is very scientific. We're going to get into that in a minute. But there's so many things about DEI that are not just based on feelings. That's a part of it, but that's based in data. That's based in numbers, and that's rooted in doing this work in a way that is very procedural. That gets us to where we want to go. And sometimes that gets lost in the sauce because it's not fancy. It's not the parts that's going to get you an award, but it is part of the process that's really vital and important to doing this work in a way that is transformative. So that's the big idea number two. It's not fancy. It's not something that is fun, but it is very important to doing this work in a way that is meaningful. That's big idea number two. Big idea number three is that there's diversity in the sciences. And I think this is fun. This one is solely for fun. That there are so many people who either we know or maybe we don't know who have had extraordinary discoveries in science that we just don't talk about. And I want to make sure that as I'm doing this work on bringing light to the parallels between science and DEI, that I'm also seeing the people who are making these discoveries and recognizing that it's not just something that happened in history that is gone, but it's things that we continue to build upon to this day and utilize in ways that help us live the way that we're living. So I don't want to forget folks, right? I want to make sure that we're talking about the people who help bring these discoveries to light and that we continue to do great work around. Because, I mean, there was a woman who just discovered elements that we're adding to the periodic table of elements. Like, what? We're still discovering things? I want to make sure that we're telling these stories and including some fun in this work. So that's it. Those are the big three ideas, that DEI is like chemistry, DEI is a science, and there's diversity within the sciences. I like to call it a triple entendre. And so join me on this journey. Will you? Because I'm about to have so much fun. I've already mapped out a couple of other videos that I'm about to record because I want to make sure that you all are coming along with me and that we're challenging each other's ideas and thoughts and the way that we do our work. And this is for everyone. This is not just for folks who are doing this work. I think everyone should be doing this work to some degree, but I want everyone to join me on this journey. So come along. Let's do this work in a way that is super fun, that is meaningful, and that is transformative. See you then.